Hold up. This is the playlist live.
My name's Kalisha.
With Kalisha. Tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another fantastic episode of the playlist. You know, I gotta boost it up a little bit. My name is Kalisha, and of course, we have another incredible guest joining us today. We got Sage Harris in the building.
What's going on?
Canada in the building.
What's going on?
Can we hear
I'm
the
here.
accent a little bit?
Canadians don't
Yeah.
have accent. What kind of accent are you expecting
Y'all
me to have?
got like that Jamaican twang.
That's not Canadian, that's Jamaican.
Accent. But y'all,
Like,
everyone
Medea,
in
you know,
Canada talks like that.
No, but they'll say something like wagwan, and they get the expressions from Jamaicans, but it's not Canadian though.
There's a lot. Well, I think because of the migration of the Jamaicans to Canada, and you guys kind of just picked it up, right?
I guess I think Jamaicans just have a lot of kids as well.
Yeah.
Jamaican men in particular.
Because everyone thought that like Drake was just faking it. Remember back in the day, everyone in the
Right.
States at least thought,
Right.
oh, Drake is just faking. He wants to
Right.
be Jamaican so bad. But it's like a thing. Like Tory Lanez sounds like that.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Like there's probably like a CEO of a Fortune 500 company that probably understands some Jamaican lingo or patois, as we say.
That's fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I don't know.
Patois is like the name of the language itself.
Oh.
So you wouldn't say like I'm speaking Canadian, or like you wouldn't say I'm speaking like American.
Oh, patois.
Yeah, patois is like
Very French.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I think it's like British or French. Something like that.
Did you see that video of Drake's son trying to teach him how to speak
French? Yeah, that was hilarious.
Do you
Yeah.
speak French or not where you're from?
I try my best. Well, we're taught like that's our second language, right? So we're taught that in school throughout like elementary all the way to high school. So
Say, how are you doing today?
I'm bonjour. I know some of y'all speak some French. Don't let me look bad on camera like that.
No, you good. I speak Greek actually, Greek and
Oh, really?
English. So tikanyis simera. How are you today?
Oh, that's
There
crazy.
you go. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing,
So,
bada bang.
listen, you've been going crazy. Just this week alone.
I'm trying.
You are visiting, obviously, from Canada. Front cover of Amazon Music.
Yeah, it's
You've
crazy.
been up to the Triller office. Spotify Canada featured you as a featured artist in 1 week, literally. Not even. Well, yeah, the week just ended because it's Monday today.
Yeah.
But congratulations!
Thank
I
you.
told you we was gonna pop some bottles of Bel Air, but you said you didn't want to drink. Boring.
I had to keep it PG.
Next time, okay, off camera, we
Right.
are popping some champagne
I got
because
you.
I am just so proud of you.
Thank you. I
I
appreciate
am
that a lot.
incredibly proud of you. And there's so many things to be proud of you about. 20K streams in the first less than 24 hours of Tell Somebody.
Right.
Oh my
That's
God.
bananas.
How are you like emotionally? How are you feeling? Because I know you're hearing this from everybody around
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, honestly, like it's definitely a rewarding feeling, and it's even better that I get to share it and be like in person with my team and my friends, and like get to experience that moment not just with myself but like with
Right.
everybody else. And the fact that like you're happy about it and you can appreciate it also makes me feel even more like ecstatic about the situation. And it's I'm at that point or stage right now where it's like things are kind of starting to roll a little bit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's like things are starting to look up in my direction, and
Yeah.
more people are seeing my music, and it's just like my prayers to the universe and to God, and everything else is starting to like kind of reel in a little bit. So
Mhm.
like this moment that's happening right now, I'm cherishing it a lot because life's very short, and every moment that I get, even the slightest bit of success is a big one.
Slight. This is major.
I mean,
Slight. And it's not the first time you've been front cover of playlists or featured artists on, these Spotify editorial playlists. They're really showing you a lot of love and
Right.
support. And it's hard
yeah,
to get on those editorial playlists.
100%. Yeah. So shout outs to
Yes.
Spotify,
Yes.
shout outs to Apple, shout outs to Amazon, shout outs to SoundCloud, shout outs to all the platforms
all the
and everybody listening to my
support.
music.
I love it.
Especially the Canadian platforms that are very, very, very supportive. I really
Yeah.
do appreciate that.
Yeah. Let's talk about that too, because the last guest that I had on, he's also from Canada. I've had Maurice Moore on, and
Yeah.
yourself. We've talked. We've talked about just how it's really hard for artists in Canada.
100%.
It's really, really hard. So, how do you keep the determination with that being a factor?
I think the determination comes from knowing where I've been.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Growing up as an adolescent, I was homeless with my mom. We were in and out through women's shelters. So I think I just like had certain experiences that allow me to have that ambitious drive no matter where I am. So I could be in Canada, I could be, in Alaska, I can be in the
Right.
States, I can be anywhere, and that ambition follows me everywhere
Yeah.
I go. And just knowing that I have not just myself, but like, my mom, my sister, like friends, my team, and everybody else like that, what I mean, is looking forward to my success so that we can all gain from that. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
not just doing it for myself. I'm doing it to see smiles on everybody else's faces.
No, you're definitely the definition of a born hustler, okay? Because just all of the features that you've had, from Cap G to Preem to Jagged Edge
Right.
to ones that I don't even know of.
Right.
All of it's been organic. Like you told me off camera, like
Right.
it's all organic. You're
100%.
not paying for these features. So let's talk about what it was like working with Jagged Edge, because I grew
Oh,
up
wow.
listening
Yeah,
to
right.
them. That's incredible.
Yeah, I was probably conceived to Jagged Edge as well. I mean, you can have that conversation with your moms later, but
Yeah. Is that okay?
yeah, but no, the Jagged Edge situation happened like super organic. I went to Atlanta, just like for the first time because I wanted to check it out.
Yeah.
I went there by myself. It's actually my first flight by myself.
What?
No, I lied. My second flight by myself, because the first flight by myself was to go see my now fiance. But
Oh my gosh,
thank you,
congratulations.
thank
I didn't
you.
even know this.
Yeah,
Oh my God. Okay,
yeah.
another reason why to pop another bottle of champagne. So I'm just give you this to take home with you.
Why
So
not?
you and wifey can pop it and have some fun, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Yes, let's do it. I'm so down.
But go ahead.
But yeah, so in Atlanta, I went to Atlanta and I met up with one of my good friends, Marcus Burns. He's like one of the producers of The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's been introducing me to a lot of people. When he came to Toronto, I got to meet Candy and Tanya and and the rest of the gang. But I went there and he's like, "Oh, let's go like hang out with Brian Casey." I was like, "Are we talking about the same person here?
Right.
Like, we just gonna hang out with them like that?" And then he's like, "Yeah, let's go." I was like, "Well, all right, cool. Like, what should I wear? Like, do I gotta get, frazzle dazzled? Do I
Right.
gotta just like?"
Get all
He's just like,
snazzy.
"Yo, you're overlooking it. Like, just relax." Like, I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, fine. All right, cool." So, boom, we went to this place in Atlanta. I think it's called Aurora.
Or
Aurora. I think that's where all of
Allure?
this.
Not Allure, that's a strip club, right?
No, whoa, I ain't up. I ain't. Whoop.
I'm not trying to get you in trouble by wifey, my bad.
I don't be up in no strip clubs. But
Just
no, I
kidding,
think it's
go ahead.
called. I think it's called Aurora, and yeah, like a lot of celebrities go there. But we went there and hung out with Brian. He introduced me to him, and I was just kind of keeping it cool. I was just like, "Yeah, what's up, man? You good?"
Cool
But in
guy,
my head,
okay.
I'm like screaming because I don't want to be that weird guy. Like he's got to
Right.
hang around for like another hour. That's just like,
Right.
"Oh my god, yo, like, I'm
Fanning.
so bad out." You know what I mean? I don't want to be
Yeah.
that guy. So yeah, we hung out and stuff like that. And he's honestly a really dope, genuine, calm, collective, nonchalant guy. Like
Mhm.
he was really cool. Like after that, now we hung out a few more times, and then we started texting and stuff like that. And then I got back to Toronto, and I was in the studio with Preem, and Preem's like, he was listening to my project, and he's like, "You need a record that you can like sample or flip, something that's like really dope." Like he's kind of challenging me a little bit because that's what he does. And I was in the studio and I was just like going through stuff. I was like, why am I looking at all these like other artists to sample from like the 70s and 80s and 90s and so on, when I just met like one of the biggest R&B groups of all time?
Yeah. It's
And I was like,
major.
let me go on Google and look at and see what's going on there. So I found Where the Party At, and I heard the guitar, and that's what stuck out to me really well. So I heard the guitar, and I was like, okay, I gotta do this record. So fast forward, I linked up with Jay and Nick. They're really dope producers, Jay Sentry and Nick. And pretty much I got them to help me make the beat. I did the snare, the drum. I mean, I was in production a little bit too because I produce as well.
Did you?
And I sent it over to Brian that same night, and he texted me back and said, "Yo," he's like, "This is as hard as steel."
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess that means like you like it a lot.
Mhm.
He's like, "Yeah, this is crazy. I'm gonna send it right back to you." Literally 24 hours later, I had a feature with Brian Casey and Jagged Edge. He's like, my brother's gonna hop on it and do some background vocals and stuff. I was like, yo, this is crazy. It happened so fast because I don't even think he knew I was an artist when we first met.
Mhm.
We were just kind of vibing for those couple of days off of just being genuine.
Right.
There wasn't no me like, hey, I'm an artist from Toronto, and then it was none of that
Can
stuff.
I get a
It was just like,
feature?
I was some
Yeah.
random dude that was chilling with Marcus, and we all vibed, and that was it. There was
Yeah.
nothing involved. So
Organic.
it was
just
super organic, and
meant to
I'm
be.
super grateful. And shout out to Brian Casey for making it all happen. And they came
Yeah.
into. I went back to Atlanta to shoot the music video, and they pulled up, and we just shot the thing with my camera, and Bradley shot it, and it was just like it's independent stuff. We grinded it
love
out and
it.
flew down there and shot it, and we just got it done. It was honestly super transparent. To be completely transparent, so it was super simple and easy to do.
Yeah.
So
And that just goes to show, like, this is for you. Like, this is
Right.
meant to be. When things like that happen just organically and
Right.
just on the fly,
right,
that it's for you. Like, nobody or nothing can stop it,
right,
take it away.
right.
Just continue doing what you need to do, and everything else is gonna fall into place.
Exactly.
I'm such a firm believer in that.
Right, and God as well,
Extremely, yeah, absolutely. Number one, God's number one.
and my team, people that support me.
It was funny off camera. Your whole team walked in. I actually saw it on Instagram. And I was like, he hangs out with a bunch of Asians. Nothing wrong with Aries. And I'm
No,
like,
for
is he
sure.
Asian? I was
No,
like, no, I'm starting to look at you, and I'm like, his eyes is tight. I was like, maybe he's Asian. Maybe I missed that. I was like, I know he's Jamaican, but that's dope.
no, I don't need to be completely honest with you. I don't even know like how that even happened.
Y'all just click.
You know what it is? I feel like I couldn't even explain it. It just happened. It's maybe there's a reason for it. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but like shout out to the
They've
Asians.
accepted you into the Asian family. Okay,
I love me some
I'm
Asians.
letting them. I'm letting you
Clearly.
in. You know, people probably can't tell from looking at me, but I was telling you off camera. But for y'all that don't know, I'm considered to be Asian. I'm half Sri Lankan,
Yeah,
and Sri
that's
Lanka
dope.
is in Asia, so I'm Asian, and you're.
I wouldn't even be able to tell that,
Yeah.
you know,
Everyone thinks I'm Hispanic.
100%.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Are you Mexican? Are you Colombian?" No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely would have thought Hispanic or like
Light skin.
light skin. Yeah, you're light skin.
I
That's
get
what
that too. I get that too. But back to you. Enough about me. You did this really cool thing on social media. 11 days and a hook a day.
Yeah.
That was like really fire, and I'm saying that's really fire because it's very engaging. Like, I'm sure your fans are just coming back to your page every day. Like,
Right.
what's the next one? What's the next one? What's the next one? What gave you that idea to do that?
Honestly, it was one of those things where I wanted to show my versatility because I think that in the music that I was putting out, I didn't really get a chance to portray how versatile I am.
Yeah.
Like that I can do different styles of music, whether it be reggae, EDM, R&B, a ballad. Like I didn't have a chance to do that. So I was like, how can I do that? And the idea of one hook a day came up, and I was just like, boom, like let's just do it. And I started doing it. People were engaging. There's some other artists that were doing different versions of it, but I was like the first person to actually like make like a hashtag on like TikTok and Triller of like one hook a day. I was like, oh,
Original.
no one else thought of this. I mean, come on, y'all. Like we can be more creative than that. But like, hey, I did it, and it did really well. Everybody loved it. Actually, what was really mind blowing to me was that I was out last night. No, not last night. I promise I wasn't out last night. It was 2 nights.
Wifey's like, where did he go?
No. It was 2 nights. You're gonna get me in trouble. It was 2 nights.
You don't get yourself in trouble.
No. It was 2 nights ago, and I went out, and a dude came up to me, and he was like, "You're Sage, right?" I was like, "Yeah, that's me."
All the way to the States.
Right?
Oh my
And
God.
he's like, "Yo, I watch your one hook a days, and I think they're dope." I'm like, "Shut up. You're in a whole different part of the world, and you know what like I do on Instagram? Like that's super crazy." So I was
like you.
I was like I was really ecstatic by that, and it kind of gave me some motivation. It made me like feel like really good about myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, the one hook a day stuff really did open up a few doors for me actually.
Keep going, keep doing that.
People were like hitting me up, wanting to work, and it's like that was only season 1. There's gonna be a season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna do it for a very long time. So just enjoy season 1 for now.
Turn them into songs.
Hell
like
yeah.
The album.
100%.
One hook a day.
One hook a day. Whoa. Just a
that.
bunch of hooks on the album.
Oh yeah, the hook album. There you go. We're gonna hook the fans.
Give you a little 5% for that.
Please do publishing, okay? I'm trying to get my pub, get paid for life.
Yes, yes.
Royalties. What's the hardest part about being an artist?
I can say this very well actually, because clearly I'm an artist. But I think the hardest part about being an an artist, is trying to have a balance between self-love and caring about what other people think. Right? I think that's the hardest part, and I get sometimes so lost in like even just like taking a picture, thinking that I have to post it when I don't really even need to. And then, sometimes like if I post something on Instagram and doesn't get enough comments or like likes, then I kind of get discouraged because like, what did I do wrong? And like, what I need to do better? And it's just really not even you. It's just how the world's set up. And like being an artist, you sometimes get lost in that, and it can like deteriorate you mentally and really take control of your life. And even like now I'm kind of starting to like realize that and kind of like work my way out of that mentality, because it's very, very toxic and it does cause a lot of stress, anxiety, and it almost makes you feel like you're going on a battlefield every single day. You know what I mean? And not every day is a win. On social media, clearly. So
man, and I think Instagram's been messing with the algorithms, okay?
Yeah.
Because my likes haven't been what they used to be. Let's just say that. And it's just crazy that they just keep switching it up. They haven't made up their mind what they want to do. And they announced not too long ago that they're going to go back to the format, the algorithm where you're seeing everyone's post in real time, not like how they've been doing it, where you see a post on your timeline from 2 days ago.
Yeah, I don't honestly, to even try to understand that stuff is like, it's like you're punching thin air. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like one of those things where it's like you kind of just gotta post and just like walk away.
Yeah.
It's like shoot your shot and just be like, all right, if it goes in, it goes in. You know what I mean?
I just hide my likes right now. I'm
Right.
lit in real life. Okay?
Hell yeah.
Who cares about a like?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No one cares.
I'm just like, hide it. I don't care.
I'm completely with you on that. And I anybody like watching this, like, don't let the social media, you know what I mean, hype and stuff like that stop you from living your life, because there's a lot of people on social media that have hundreds of thousands of followers but have $0.
Oh,
so
preach,
don't let
them
that
know.
Don't let that
Yeah.
perspective fool you.
I'm not gonna tell you who told me, but someone told me that he met this girl on Instagram, and no shade, okay? No shade to no one. I love the ladies, okay? But I love men more. But that he met this girl on Instagram, and she was an Instagram model. She had like, hundreds of thousands of followers, and she was like, come over. So she invited him over to his house. He said he got there and there was 5 girls living in a 1-bedroom apartment, and there was just mattresses like all over the place, like few mattresses in the living room, a few mattresses in the room, people sleeping on couches, yet they had like hundreds of thousands of followers. And that kind of is sad, because it's like, figure out how to turn the followers into dollars. You know?
I mean, that kind of sounds like a win for him, essentially, because he walked into a house with 5 women.
I can't stand you right now.
But like, I mean, for him, it was like, that was a shot that went in.
Right.
But for them, it's kind of like, in reality, it's like, maybe, like time is, like people say, time is money, right?
Yeah.
And if you spend too much time on social media, and you're not turning that into dollars, where do you have time to make money?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like the balance that people need to kind of just like, create for themselves. And sometimes it gets kind of hard because you kind of start to depend on social media, and then there's a lot of influencers that are actually like really good at what they do, and I respect the influencers that are really good at what they do on social media, and I'm not bashing them or anything. And they have suffered actually because of the algorithm. Like their analytics are they're reliant on their analytics to get like contracts and sponsors and stuff like that. And with the analytics, it's knocked a lot of money out of their pockets. So I feel bad for them as well. But it kind of has to be like a happy balance, I think, and that's where I'm learning to do that as an artist.
Yeah. I mean, everything's just changed so much from just the normal way of like doing things. I mean, back in the day, it was like, you are young, you work, you work in the farm, or you work in the field, or whatever you do, help the family business. And then it got to a point where I was like, okay, go to school, go to college, get your degree. And then it turned into, okay, go to school, maybe not go to college, who knows, maybe it's not for you. Okay, now it's like, go to school, go to college, become an influencer.
Right.
Make money on YouTube. And it's I love that it's changed so much, because it's really opened the doors.
Right.
It's really opened the doors. Like me growing up, I had no choice. Like my dad was like, you have to go to college. And I told him, I was like, maybe I don't want to go. Let me drop out. Let me just, focus on acting and entertainment. He's like, are you crazy? Like, are you crazy? And then I got nervous at one point. I was like, is this gonna happen for me?
Right.
Like, am I doing this the right way? Like, oh my God, like this is very specific of what I'm doing. Let me become a nurse.
Right.
My dad was like, are you nuts? Like, I'm paying all this money for college and you want to switch your major and be a nurse? That's not even you. Have you ever had a moment where you were like, I need a backup plan?
No.
Okay, that's what
Ain't
I'm
no
talking
backup
about.
plan.
That's what I'm talking
What you mean
about.
backup
That's
plan?
what I'm
There ain't no
talking
plan B. There's
about.
only plan. We gonna do this.
Plan A, and if not, we going back to plan A.
Yeah, no, I'm sure like a lot of us have been told like,
Right.
if
Have that
you need a
backup.
backup plan, if if you want to, just in case, something to fall back on. But you have to remember as well too that spending time on a backup plan takes up time from your actual plan. So if you take away time from your actual plan, you're gonna end up being your backup plan.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
facts.
always had that mindset, as an adolescent and growing up, and I was like, if I'm doing this, I'm doing it 100%. There's no career you can be in unless you want to, suck at all of them. That you can't where you need to put 100% in it.
That's facts.
And then once I know,
agree.
and that's straight. That's simply it.
I
If you want to be the
agree.
best at something,
I
if you want to be
agree.
average, you can spend half the time. But I want to be
That's
the best, so I
facts.
put 100% in.
And you know what? You were telling me earlier this week when we linked that you really do everything from filming your videos, like you're saying, production and arranging your music. You literally do everything. And I think that's the skills that you need and the mindset that you need to really get far. And that's in any
Right.
field, right?
Right.
That's in any field, whether you're a doctor, lawyer, or whatever. You
Right.
really have to go full throttle and know every element of the business.
Right.
How to
100%.
record yourself,
Yeah.
all of that, edit. But I want to know, because some people do, some people don't. Have you ever taken singing lessons, or is it just natural? It just came to you?
I haven't like taken like singing lessons like full fledged. I probably took like one class, just to kind of try it out.
Like a theory to learn behind the
Not even
theory of it,
that.
really?
Like it's just I went to a singing class and seen if I did that class that it would make me any better. But not other than that, no. It's simply just understanding, I guess, frequencies, and I just have a really good ear. I listen to frequencies. I listen to like tones of people's voices. Like I listen to a lot of artists and watch their posture and how they're singing and stuff like that. So like I said, I put 100% into it. So I'm able to study like everything about artists that I admire. So just like I put 100% into being able to record myself at home. I spent like 10 years doing that. Being able to edit my own pictures, edit artwork, and then I do have some assistance from Irving and Bradley, who who went through the Sage Harris, going through the Sage Harris training, and that's why he's so
Love
amazing,
it.
right? So because it comes down to the point where it's like you can only do, and there's a lot of people that say I do it myself, but you can only do things by yourself for so long if you want to grow and expand. You need to create time.
Yeah.
And that's where a team comes into play, and support and people helping you out. And that's what I'm lucky enough to have.
Yeah.
People that have been supporting me and helping me. So
No, you're right. You can't always do everything yourself. And I feel like those that try, I really respect that.
Right.
But at some point, you got to have a team.
At some point, 100%.
You got to have a team. Like
Can't do it myself.
I couldn't do this show alone.
Nope.
I really couldn't. It would be hard.
No, you would have to run over there, count down by yourself, 3, 2, 1,
Right.
then run back over here and be like, okay, let's go. All right, Sage, you ready? And then,
like when I walk in, like everything's done, set up, ready to go, and I just got to jump in the seat and
Right.
go. And I'm sure that, there's a lot of things that you do that, that require the same.
100%.
So having a team just really sticks by you and believes in the vision. Just believes in the vision. I remember
believes in
when
you.
that too. Yeah, I'm part of the vision. I hope.
Yeah.
But just you want people that believe in you. And speaking of people believing in you, how did your parents feel about you choosing this career doing music?
Well, my parents, because my mom and my dad.
Yes.
Shout out to my mom.
Shout out to mama.
Big M.
Yeah.
She was like, my mom was always supportive, and as any like, Caribbean or, immigrant parent is, like, they always they always kind of want to abide by, like, I guess the most comfortable thing to do would be to
Yep.
go to college, university. We've heard the story 1,000 times.
Yep.
But
Right there with you.
my mom, hey, my mom, she was always supportive, 100%. I could tell you a quick story, real quick. Um, my mom was so supportive that I had a mixtape. I printed out a bunch of CDs, right? And when I was sleeping, she took the CDs and went to Canadian Tire and the barber shops and the malls and that, and was selling my CDs to like random people, right?
Wow.
And she actually got me a few relationships that I have to this day from that.
Wow.
My one of my mentors, he does stunts, Jason Gosby. He actually got me into stunts. Um, from my mom meeting him in the Canadian Tire, and
That's
like,
insane.
which, yeah, Canadian Tire is kind of like our Home Depot.
Yeah.
Selling my CD, and she came back, and then there was some money in a sandwich bag on the side of the table. I'm like, what the hell is this? And she's like, oh, it sold a CD. Sold some CD. I was like, yo, that's lit. And my mom's done a ton more things, but like, my mom's been very supportive. Obviously, she's obviously said that you need to have a backup plan and all this stuff. And there's obviously been those kind of arguments here and there, but it's one of those things where I'm at a point now where she can kind of see the vision and see how, I guess I can say successful per se, because I could have been a lot of other places.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't grow up in the best neighborhood, but she sees a vision, and I think that's what you have to create for your parent, and not just for your parents, for everybody else on your team as well.
Yeah.
Is a vision. And what I like to say is, like, sometimes it's hard for people to see the vision when it's just an outline.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a coloring book.
Yeah.
Right? When someone sees a coloring book, they just see the outlines of the image. But when you start to color it in, they're like, okay, I can see the picture.
When they see you put in the work in and
Exactly.
you're doing it, and one thing is happening and the next thing
Right.
is happening. Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of like, where my mom was at with it, and she's very, very, very supportive. And like I said, like, to them, it's to the elder parents, it's always a risk. It looks like a risk to them, is what it is, because it's being independent. Independent artist is very unstable financially. I'll tell you that much. It's very unstable financially. So
imagine.
Even myself, I've had to start a few businesses, like, and that's what kind of handles my my stuff, because I'm independent, right?
Yeah,
So
you like I said earlier, you got to do what you got to do to get to where you want to be,
of course.
and you're embodying that. You're doing it, and I'm sure your mom is very proud of you. Your family is extremely proud of you. I'm
100%.
proud of you.
Thank you so much.
What's something that you are proud of yourself for accomplishing that you are like, oh my God, I can't even believe that I did that?
I think the biggest accomplishment that I kind of reap the most rewards from is seeing how happy everybody else is, when they see, like, the progress. Like, when people see when my team and my family see the front cover of the playlist, and they're smiling and they're so happy and they're celebrating.
I saw that video on your Instagram. Everyone's all
Yeah.
jumping up and down.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's
Yes.
like sharing those moments and seeing, like, I've always been like that. Seeing other people happy is kind of what I live for. That's why I make music as well, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to. Exactly. I'm trying to see everybody else, like, experience, like, a positive emotion, and that's what to me, that's success.
Yeah. True. Facts. So when you're in the studio recording music, doing your thing, making magic, what is something that makes you feel most comfortable? Especially in a foreign studio, because at home it's easy, right?
In a foreign studio, first off, I don't want nobody smoking no weed in my studio.
Say that one more time, but them in the
nobody
back.
smoking no backwoods in my studio. That stuff hurts my throat.
Same.
Clothes
be smelling.
Yeah, not for me.
Me neither.
So that's number one. I need to have, like, I honestly need to have, like, the light settings just right. I need to have some, like, peppermint tea, or like some Bengal spice tea.
Yes.
And I like to have, like, people in there that are, like, creatives. I like feeding off people's ideas and stuff like that. I'm not one of those, like, songwriters or artists. I like to work alone all the time. I like to, like, hear and, like, vibe up with other people. So I think just doing that, and then sometimes even going to the studio with, like, a message that I want to portray. Like, maybe I want to portray, like, love. Maybe I want to portray, like, a happy emotion. It's just based on the mood that I'm in at that time, because artists are very, very, very moody. Like I can't go in the studio and sing something when I'm upset. Like I will,
Really? You don't take that emotion and like put it into the music?
I'll start rapping.
Oh.
I'm like, hey yo, ready for this? All right, I'm pulling up in the whip.
Okay.
I'll start rapping and freestyling, but I don't want to have to go and do that because that's not me.
Right.
That's what I feel like when I'm upset. I listen to Meek Mill.
Okay.
When I'm upset, I listen to Meek Mill, and that gets me going.
Shout
And
out
I'll be
Meek
in the room like
Millie. Shout
in the
out
back
Meek
of the room.
Millie.
Yeah, no, Meek Mill is like my go-to. Like I'm pissed off.
So if wifey and the homies hear you playing Meek Mill, they
I'm
know
upset.
to stay away. So what does the mad sage hairs look like? What does that look like?
They can probably tell
how
you.
you acting?
I'm quiet.
You're quiet.
I'm quiet because I'm quiet. I don't say anything because if I open my mouth, I might, just like be a little too upset.
What's your sign?
I'm an Aries.
They say Aries are very self-centered, but you don't seem like a self-centered person.
Oh, I'm definitely not a self-centered person. That's why I don't feel like I'm an Aries. I feel like I'm my own person.
Are you on a cusp, or you're like in the middle of the Aries dates or whatever they call that? Huh? Oh, you're not into zodiacs?
No, I don't do that.
Oh, okay. So even though you don't do that, okay, I'm gonna give you a little info. So on the cusp means that you're born on the day that your sign starts. So for example, me, I'm born August 23rd.
Right.
Shout out to Kobe Bryant. That's my birthday twin. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
But yeah, so I'm born on the first day that Virgo starts. So that means I'm on the cusp. Like my friend, she's born February 19th, and that's the first day of Pisces.
Right.
I think my mom is also on the cusp as well, October 24th.
Right.
So you just obviously don't know. So
I could tell you I don't got no calendar or nothing like that, but like a reminder on my phone saying you're born on the day of the cusp.
We're gonna look into it after. But when is your birthday?
April 3rd.
Okay, yeah, I don't have the memorized.
I think the Aries like may start in like a little bit earlier on in March. I don't know.
You right, it does.
But
it does.
So I guess the answer is no.
Yeah, answer is no.
Okay.
You could be on the last day. It's possible.
I mean.
We'll see. We'll look into that later.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
You're not into signs. That's crazy.
Nah, because I just feel like, you see how you just said, like, and like with respect to everybody else that enjoys that stuff, like, so how you say like Aries are sometimes like what
self-centered.
Self-centered.
Yeah.
I am not that person, and you can ask anybody. I'm not a self-centered person.
Yeah.
So I feel like I need my own sign, like the sage sign.
I like that. Right?
That's a whole thing right there. That's the sage sign. You sound like the sage sign. When are you born?
Yeah.
April? Okay.
It's only on April 3rd, right? Your birthday, April 3rd?
April 3rd.
Yeah, so sage sign is only April 3rd. So if you're April 3rd, you're a sage sign.
You're a sage sign.
And if you want to know about that sign, you got to hit them up.
Yep. It's a private.
Private sign. What would you tell your 10-year-old self if you could go back in a time machine? If I had a time machine, that Money Long song. So if you had a time machine, and you can go back and be like, yo, listen, little sage, this is what's gonna happen in the future. Right. You need to relax and just do your thing. What would you say?
I'm just thinking about that movie right now. I feel like
Back to the Future movie.
You can't mess with the timeline. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Like, that's a fact. That's
you can't mess with the time. I couldn't go back and tell myself anything because, like, if I mess with the timeline, I might disrupt the process in which where I am today. I might just move a little different, knowing that like I'm gonna be someone later. I want to get that ambition and that drive. So I would just be like, let me stay here in the future and just let him do his thing, you know? Because I wouldn't be able to go back to my 10-year-old self and say anything. I did everything right. I'm alive. I'm healthy. I'm well. You know, everybody else enjoys my energy and my vibe. So I think I did a great job.
I always wonder that too. Not that I wonder that. I feel like I know it, but I never sat down to think about it how you just explained it. Like, don't mess with the timeline.
Can't.
Like, everything happens when
for a
it's
reason.
Supposed to happen for a reason.
Right.
You meet who you meet when you're supposed to. You date who you date because you're supposed to.
Right.
You break up with who you break up with because you're supposed to.
Yep.
You have that argument. It happens because it's supposed to. You lose that job. For those out there that have ever lost a job, you lose that job because you're supposed to. Because you're supposed to elevate to the next level. And if you're stuck there at that job or that moment, that relationship, you're not going to elevate.
Or you quit the job because you didn't like the job. That works too.
Yeah, that works too. But but sometimes you just feel comfortable, right? A lot of people just get comfortable.
Right.
and they're afraid, right? They're afraid to quit that job because they're like, oh my God, what are my finances going to be? I mean, you hear stories all the time about people that want to quit their job, become an influencer, and they're scared and they don't do it. But then there's those that want to become an influencer and they quit their job and they're making millions.
Right.
But they were afraid.
Right. Well, the problem is, like we were talking about before, is that they're not 100% into what they're doing, and that's the problem. If you're not 100% into what you're doing, there's going to be a risk because you're only pouring 50% in.
You just got to go and
100%.
do it. Love Dame Dash. She's an amazing guy. And I probably would have never started this show if it wasn't for him. I'm going to keep it real. If it wasn't for Dame Dash, I would have never done it, because he's like, when are you going to start your show, The Playlist? Like, when are you going to start it? When are you going to start it? And I'm like, oh, I don't have my logo ready. I don't know.
Right.
He's like, man, if you just don't go and just start and just do it.
Yep.
I was like, all right. And he was my first guest ever.
Sick.
The legend Dame Dash.
That's
the first guest ever. I probably thank you. I probably never would have started the show. So what was it that pushed you to just do it? Just do it.
I'm just tired of I was tired of not seeing like results. And sometimes you have those conversations with yourself, or you may have like people around you that actually like are very transparent. Those are obviously the kind of people that you need. Where you can talk to yourself, or they can talk to you and be like, listen, like, I see how you're moving, and this needs to be corrected if you want to get to this point. So I've definitely had a lot of those conversations with my close friends like JT and, you know, my management and, you know, Naomi and the rest of the team. And it's like, you kind of honestly find out if you don't like where something's going, don't continue to repeat that same motion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Turn the wheel. You know what I mean? Figure out the direction you need to go, or stop before you waste more time and analyze the situation and move accordingly. Like, you got to treat your life and your business like it's a Fortune 500 company. Any corporation would do the exact same thing. So why shouldn't you for your own life? Right? So I kind of just look at it like that. And there was a point in time where it's like, maybe I'm just like not spending enough time. I'm spending too much time on maybe like the business side of things, and not on like my craft. And that's not because I don't like my craft, it's because the business side of things was paying my bills and for me to live and survive, and for me to even be doing things for my music. So I kind of had to like, okay, where do I find free time, or how do I allocate this role to this person so I can have more free time to do this? You know what I mean? It's like one of those little strategic things where I have to sit down and kind of map it out. And that's where, like, you know, like I said, a team comes into play, because in the beginning I was doing everything myself. And then that's where I guess things were kind of slowed down, because it's like I didn't have enough time to do what I needed to do. So now that I have roles and things delegated, it's like, you know, I'm able to do more things and spend more time on music. And, you know, I can't wait till I'm like full-time music. That's like my dream.
Coming soon, man. This week alone, like I said when we started this interview, this week alone has been insane for you.
It's been really crazy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You just got to make the move to LA.
I love
Come
LA.
on.
I know, I've been dying. Man, that visa price is expensive. I don't know about that. We gotta figure that out.
Really? How much are visa?
I don't know. I heard it can go like, just to get like, I don't know, your O1 or something like that. I heard it can go from anywhere from like 6 to like 15K.
What?
That's Canadian. That's not even US.
Oh my God.
US currency is way higher.
I don't even know how that stuff works. Like, I've never had to like apply for my own visa, I guess, like traveling, but I'm, you know, a dual citizen, Australia and
that's dope.
you know, America.
Right.
So, you know, the only place I've ever spent like an extreme amount of time is Australia, and I just used my Australian passport. And like, here you go. So I don't even know how that works, but you can't like get like a sponsor or something.
I mean, I don't know how it works I don't know how it works in the States, but I just know you have to go through a lawyer, and the lawyer will handle all that for you. And the lawyer fee, between the lawyer fees and actually paying for the permits, costs quite a bit. So fortunately, I can't make any money.
We're gonna have to figure that out. We're gonna have to figure that out.
We can't talk about this too much on the air, because
right.
You know,
we don't have the sauce out. We don't have the sauce out. So you've been in this game for a long time, you know, years. I remember, you know, first discovering you on social media. Shout out Jay Main. He puts a lot of amazing artists on the map. But I want to say it was probably back in like 2019, maybe. Was it around 2019? I want to say it's like 2019. And I remember I was like at my old like 9-to-5 job, and I was, you know, doing both radio and all that. And I saw your, you know, music, and I think I like posted on my story or something like that. I think that's how we connected. Going through, you know, just the years of music, what's a hidden talent that you found throughout this journey outside of music that you like
Mm,
discovered about yourself?
I'm a people's person. Yeah.
Really?
I love being
Mm.
around people and meeting people. Like that's probably one of my favorite things to do is actually just meet people. And I love meeting people so much. I'll slide into